Hey guys, how you all doing? I just wanted to show you what I was having tonight for dinner. I was so hungry. I was looking for something, and I guess I could have made some soup, but in a can or whatever. But I didn't really like soup in a can. I'd rather just make it homemade, from scratch and all. But then I didn't want to do that. I didn't have enough of the stuff to get it, so I just decided to eat some oatmeal and everything. And it's really comfortable over here with my nice and cozy quilt. I love this quilt that, you know, Matt got me this quilt from Cracker Barrel, and I just love it. It's so beautiful. This is one of the recent ones he got me. It's so warm and soft. It's so cozy. I just wanted to show you a little bit of it. Kind of like a cottage, like, it's like it reminds me of the, Pilgrims or, Little House on the Prairie and stuff, and how they suffered and all, and they could barely even, make a quilt, and to keep themselves warm and everything. And it made the difference, all the difference in the world. When you make something yourself, it means more than going out and buying something, you know. You can buy, I've done that before. You can go out and buy expensive things and all from Pottery Barn and other places like, Home Goods and all that. But, Home Goods does have some really good deals. My aunt got me into that store and all. And, but this, you have to appreciate art. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to, I guess it's tangled up here. Wait, appreciate art here. And I wanted to show you, I got these, well, let me take it off, I can't get it. I got my nice boots here, Uggs. So somebody needed to rub it in my face that she got some Uggs or something. I guess she never even had Uggs before. I can't even imagine that. But I got these Uggs. Aren't they cute? With, of course there's two, because, two makes a pair, and all. So there's that. Okay, they're really cute, and they're in good shape. I've only had them maybe a year or something. I guess I really didn't need any new Uggs, and I don't really, to be honest, like those little short Uggs. Who would wear those? And who would just get dark brown? I think this is the perfect color. The natural color is the best color because it goes with more. Who would get dark brown and wear it with black? That's kind of strange, but whatever. To each their own, as they say, as the saying goes. Let's see. Okay. Alright. So there's that. Okay. Got a little chilly, Oh, here. It's blue and everything, and it's got the gray in it with the blue, and I think that's pretty because it's got turquoise, and isn't that pretty? A pretty patchwork. Well, this guy I used to date, Will, he was into art and all, and he was kind of big, at the Kentucky Theater here in Lexington. He would have shows there and stuff, and he did some really amazing art. Well, I've always kind of been crafty. That's just kind of who I've been, basically. And I try to, look at something, and I even do this at the Dollar Tree, anywhere really. And I'm very good at this, at looking at something in a different way. I have that knack. I have an eye for design. I can take something, a piece of old furniture off the side of the street, and I can see potential in it and know that I can paint that. I can paint it white, or I can paint it black and then paint it white over that. I've done that before. And then distress it, or paint it whatever color you want to paint it and everything. Or, refinish it, you know what I'm saying, with the antique finish and all that kind of thing. I kind of like things that last, that are kind of like, they're a classic style, they'll always be in. to be honest, I don't like things that you can just put together. You know what I'm saying? Like little pieces that put together, cheap stuff. I mean, I prefer something that's gonna last. I mean, you might have to pay a little bit more than you want to pay for it for antiques, or you might have been having. My grandmother passed down antiques in the family for generation during generation. I had recently got that pie shelf, pie safe, and it needs a little bit of work because it fell apart. But the guy told me it was 80 years old, and so he didn't tell me it was going to fall apart though. Okay, but anyways, I think I can slide it back through there. I'll have to show you a video when I get to that. Um, I'm trying to get all these things done, and I'm about ready to scream. But that, and then um, show you this other antique piece that I got. It's really cool looking. It has the old keyhole and all that, and the old key. That's kind of my thing, the old skeleton key. My grandmother, that's what they had in their house. You know, like the bronze and kind of bronzish, you know, I guess matte gold color on the doorknobs and all. And then on the wooden doors, they had the keyhole at the bottom underneath the knob. So, anyways, that kind of reminds me, you know, of my grandmother's house, and I miss that house, going to that house when I was little, and then even later going back down to the house and everything, and so it was really cool to do that, and everything, and but it just was fun when I was younger. You know, I was fun that my grandmother and grandfather, you know, lived in a really cool house that had these beautiful white hydrangeas, and they were like, I guess they're called snowball, whatever, and they were so pretty, and then they were so beautiful and all, and Christian would come over, my cousin, and she would come over, and we would make, you know, mud pies, and then we would take the flowers, the white flowers, and put them on top as icing, and we just had a best time doing that or whatever. So I guess that's the reason why I like to cook and I like the gardening. I think I like the gardening too. Well, cook because my grandmother was always cooking or something, and everything, and I got to see her make things from scratch and all. You know, not just a pie that you go to the store and get, not just one, and she didn't think of going to the store and getting pies. She made hers from scratch, homemade, you know, and all. But, it was amazing. I mean, you know, she'd have butterscotch, she had lemon pie, she made the best lemon pie. I hope that I can make it the right way. I think I can, but we'll have to see about that. Um, I like to try to make it the way she made it. She made homemade bread, and she made rolls, and she made cinnamon bread. She made sourdough bread, and she just made regular bread. Okay, and she made everything from scratch. I mean, it was just amazing. You know, cooking all day and all, and we'd come in, and when I was a little kid, but I didn't know any better when I was a little kid. You know how little kids are. They just want a hamburger or a hot dog or whatever. And my grandmother had this little jar, a very antique vintage jar and everything. And she had all these quarters in them. And just a bunch of quarters basically. And that was like a thrill or something to go get the change, go over. You know, it was a big, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, 7 years old or something. Go there by myself and get a hamburger. And I remember hamburger and then mustard and ketchup and pickle. I remember exactly. And then fries, and I would get a Coca-Cola. I mean, my grandmother said Coca-Cola, you know, Coke. My grandmother used to keep those old Coke vintage bottles and stuff, and she had a lot of old bottles and stuff that she passed down to me. I love antiques and old bottles and all. Okay, a little bit about me, um, and everything, and so that's just something I've always been interested in, antiques and old bottles, and you know, something that was found, in history, and it's just amazing. You can dig up that glass, in the ground. A friend of mine, he lived on a lake, and he would dig up bottles, all these antique bottles, and I was just completely shocked. And he gave me a few of them because he had so many of them. I was like, wow, it was so cool to see that done and everything. What was I saying? I was just saying this is a gorgeous, I love this blanket. It's a beautiful blanket and everything. It's just warm, and I like to make one. Well, I was going to say, yeah, about that guy that was an artist. Well, you might even be able to look him up on, I think he had a MySpace account. I don't know if he has a YouTube account. Excuse me, Will Vance, actually just Selden Vance, because Selden was his middle name. And he may still have this art up online, so you might want to check that out. What I was going to say was his mother was very much into quilts and making quilts and everything. And I said, well, I want to learn how to make a quilt from you. And she said, and I had told her that in art class in school, that's all I was in: art classes, pottery class, fiber class. Fiber was like, materials and stuff like that. And I even made those old fabric, well, I learned how to make them, those old fabric quilted ornaments. And we all made a pillow, okay? And that was pretty easy to do, actually. And so I said to her, yeah, I made a pillow. It's like blue, and it was really pretty blues, all these different color shades or whatever, and the willow kind of look or whatever, that old look. And she goes, well, if you can make a pillow, you can make a quilt. I said, really? I didn't, I guess what it was, I guess you just have to do a little bit at a time when you have a pattern, and you cut the, material cloth out from a pattern and then piece it together. I mean, really, how hard could it be? I don't know. I might want to try that sometime. But anyways, I just like the old quilts. It's kind of, like I said, got that cottage effect to it. And I think that's really cool. Okay. It's got that neat cottage-like effect, and everything. And when I eat oatmeal, it's kind of cool because this is just a standard brown sugar oatmeal. I really like it a lot. I'm just using this for stirs, but if you want to get some, I got these last year at Big Lots, and you get a bunch of them. Okay, you get the little. Well, here's the little trees, and then you get these. This is really pretty, I guess, type of wooding and pine cones, and then you get the red and white. You get all three of those, and all. I think I'll just take the Christmas tree one out and just have two in there, and you can stir it around or whatever. I'm not gonna, just using it to stir it around and stuff. And but here's where you can get it. I got some at Big Lots last year for $3, and I'm trying to remember if I got them for $3 or if I got them after Christmas for half off. One or the other. But anyways, you get 40 assorted straws. So that's really